But now, what about other situations? Like, what about magic?
No, that would be fun.
But you don't believe in it?
No, I don't really believe it.
What about ESP?
Oh, I was going to ask you about that. So, I don't know. Once again, the human body and the brain is very complex, but so I think there could be a rare instance where there is someone like Powder. Do you see? Remember that movie?
Yeah,
Um,
but that would be telekinesis.
oh yeah, right.
Well, I guess it was both, though, wasn't it? He could read minds and move stuff with his mind.
Yeah.
But do you believe in any of that?
Actually, as you just said that, no.
But there are government studies. It seems to be that there are many different governments that have tried this, and see, the problem is that you don't know what they're telling you is true and what they're telling you is fake. I mean, they could very well just feed us a line of bullshit because they don't want us to. They want us to think about something other than what they're actually doing.
Yeah, true.
You know, like with like a lot of times when they're testing super secret airplanes, there'll be a whole nother level of UFO sightings. And instead of coming out and going, no, that's a secret airplane that we're testing, they go, UFOs, you say?
Right. Yeah. So do you think that there's a possibility of like somebody who's telekinetic?
You know, I don't know. The science side of me says there's no evidence. But there are also weird experiments that seem to have happened in the past. I haven't heard of anything recent that had confusing results. I don't believe in it, but I also don't not believe in it. This would be one of the wackier things that I would think that I believe in. Generally, I only believe in things that there are actual evidence for. But I mean, the more and more we learn about the environment that we live in, and we learn about things like quantum entanglement and stuff like that, where I just start thinking it might not be impossible, but let me just say the amount that I believe in is like 0.001%. I believe it's real. The other 99.999 does not.
Okay. So you don't think that there could be somebody out there who's almost like Jean Grey, who can has like a totally expanded mental capacity to do extraordinary things?
No.
No, none whatsoever.
No, well, maybe small bits and pieces, maybe under certain circumstances, but no.
What about slight things like when you're talking to someone and they're about to finish your sentence, or you guys say the same thing at the same time? Isn't that an example of like a type of mental pairing?
No, I would say that is once you get familiar enough with somebody else, you can pick up patterns and speech patterns and start recognizing where they're going with things and have the ability to kind of get where they're going. And your brain may be completing sentences because it's thinking these are the next steps.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, interesting. And have you known anyone who has stated that they have these capabilities?
No.
No.
No, but I will tell you, a lot of these things I did believe in when I was younger. And I have had a weird situation or a weird event, let's call it. I was, I think I was 19. I was living in my own house, and or it was a duplex, but whatever. I was in my own home, and nobody was there. And I remember I was playing video games, and sitting on the couch, and then I had this overwhelming feeling that something bad was about to happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I got really, really scared. And it was probably like 9:30 or no, probably like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
Mm.
And I remember being so freaked out. I thought maybe a car was going to come through the wall, or somebody was going to bust in and hurt me. I just had this feeling like I was about to get hurt really bad.
Right.
And so I turned on all the lights, and I remember standing in the little middle of the room, and I remember thinking, you know, be alert, like something is not right.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 10, 15 minutes later, so I've been feeling that feeling for about 10 or 15 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and my neighbor came home, and I thought, I just want to be around other people. Like, this is bad.
Yeah.
And so we didn't really have a garage per se, neither did they. We kind of had like these driveways that were beside of our houses. And so our driveways were right next to each other. So I ran around the corner to see him get out of his car, and he got out of his car, and his face was all bloody.
Oh, damn.
And I'm like, oh my God, dude, are you okay? And he's like, no. He's like, I was coming out of the bar, and this guy said something to me, and I said, what did you say? And I think he thought that I was like threatening him. And then he said something again, and then he's like, I didn't understand what he said. So he was just like, okay, man, whatever. And then the guy started yelling at me and said, what do you mean, whatever? And he goes, hey, man, I'm just trying to get in my car. Fuck you. And then the guy ran up and just started punching him in the face.
Damn.
And then he jumped in this car, and he was originally planning on going to like another bar, but he drove away quickly to get away from this guy. And then he looked in the mirror and saw that he had like a bloody nose and a black eye and stuff, and was like, I should go home.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much the same moment that I had that terror
wow.
feeling in the house.
Yeah.
And I thought, when I was younger, I thought, that is really weird.
So when you think about that, does it give you the goosebumps or the chills being like,
No, I think that was just some weird coincidence that my brain started after the whole incident started piecing together coincidences and started saying, oh, it could be explained by this supernatural ability, but
that was your chance and you totally blew it. That was your moment to be ordained with some type of superpower, and you were just like, "That's crap. I'm just gonna whatever." And
I did after like we had this picnic table between our driveways, and we sat down there, and he like grabbed a rag, and he was like, you know, cleaning himself up.
Mm-hmm.
And
did you use your telekinesis to like move the rag for him so he could?
No, but when I told him what I had this weird feeling, and then he's like, dude, that's like the exact time. He's like, because I was trying to get away and trying to block punches for like several minutes before I got in the car. And he's like, that's the exact time that he basically jumped me. And he's like, he didn't even rob me or anything. He's like, I don't know, he's just drunk.
Yeah.
And he started yelling at me, and I was just like, okay, man.
Yeah, that's fascinating. That's interesting.
Weird, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm surprised that you don't. I mean, you should have like harnessed that, and you don't think about that. And
Fought crime with it.
yeah,
All I have to do is be really scared, and then I'll know somebody's getting hurt.
yeah. You just gotta pinpoint their location and be there to aid with their, first aid.
Sure.